What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. TammyTalks here. All right, y'all. We are going to talk Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 15, Episode 11, Makeup, Slip-Ups, and Cover-Ups. If you're brand new to the channel and you have not yet subscribed, or if you're a returning viewer that is not yet subscribed, go ahead, hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed the video, y'all. Thumbs up the video, leave some comments down below. All right, so it starts off with Sheree, Kenya, and Sonya. They're following Drew outside. So, this is picking up right where last week's episode left off, where Drew is crying after her exchange with Sheree. So initially, Sonya is the first person to follow her out, which is kind of shocking to me. Then we see Kenya and Sheree both get up. Y'all know Kenya good for following somebody out aside from Marlo. So when they get outside, Drew is telling Sonya that the lawsuit is a big deal to her and her family. Here's the thing. Nobody wants to be sued, right? Nobody. Nobody wants to be put in that predicament where you're being drugged through the news cycle. You have family members that are calling you, asking about it. People are prejudging you, all that type of stuff, right? Nobody wants to be a part of that. So Sheree comes out and Drew is telling her that a lawsuit is not funny. Being sued is not funny. And Sheree is like, I never said it was. So after some back and forth, Sheree asks Kenya and Sonya to give them a moment alone so that they can talk. Drew was like, I don't want to talk to you this bit. And she catches herself and it causes Kenya and Sonya to turn back around like, okay, let's not get, let's not get crazy out here. So basically, back at the table, Kandi is saying in her confessional that Drew crying seems staged. It seemed performative. Now, I watched Kandi speak on it last night, and Kandi said that while they were at the dinner, there was a moment where Eric, production, came in and basically told them, y'all need to get to it. Y'all need to start talking about some of these issues. Let's work some stuff out. So Kandi thought that Drew, in that moment, was just putting on because Eric told them to, let's get to the bottom of this. So she thought Drew was acting. But we see Kandi stand up, and they were like, are you going to check on her? And Kandi was like, no, I'm going to the bathroom. I have seen Drew have worse arguments, and she has never run out crying. Drew is struggling in her marriage, which we all know they end up divorced a couple months later. And so it's like every single thing that someone says or does is heightened for her. It's heightened for Drew. That's the thing. Outside, Sheree apologizes and says she will not bring it up anymore. Don't say shit else about shit. Don't bring it up no more. So Kenya is like, well, look, how many of us is on this trip? And they were like, it's 8. Kenya said, well, what's $1,000 divided by 8? And I was like, Kenya, no. I was with Sheree and I was like, Kenya, now is not the time. Drew was like, it's not about the money. Kenya said, well, look, pay this lady the money to get her out of your life. Sometimes paying money when you don't want to, just to get the problem out of the way. And I'm with Kenya on that. If it's just $1,000, pay the $1,000, Drew. Pay the $1,000. So it makes me wonder if there's more to this story. Why? But Drew is saying that they already gave this lady money. But if she's just asking for $1,000 more, pay that lady and just be done with it. So they all go back inside. And Kenya tells Drew, you need a better lawyer because this shouldn't even be an issue. When they're back inside and they sit down, Marlo offers to pay the lawsuit. Does she just want me to give her the $1,000? I don't think money is the issue for Drew. I don't. I think that Drew Sidora has the $1,000. I do. So Sonya is like, well, it's more than the money. She's going through all these things and it's a lot going on. Sonya, you don't even like Drew. You find any reason that you can to go at her. Sonya got on my nerves this episode. She did. So Drew is in her confessional and she says that she is stressed about Ralph because Drew is now saying that the same lady that she's caught in her house before is the one that was rubbing oil on him at the video shoot. You never know what Drew was talking about because I feel like Drew talks in circles. And as she's talking in these circles, sometimes a lot of the stuff just don't make sense. I know y'all be calling Drew a liar. Drew Lidora, but I don't know. So Sheree and Drew are still outside and they hug it out. Sheree's damn hair gets caught in Drew's earring, so it's a very awkward moment that we did not need to see. Once they get inside, Senya feels that everyone needs to just be respectful of everyone else's feelings. She was like, that's just my 2 cents. Kenya says something smart, and it's like, Senya knows I love her. It's just a joke, y'all. Trying to lighten the mood. They then get into a conversation about how Kandi has not been around. This bothered me. Okay, let's put this into perspective, right? Kandi is in a singing group, not just in a group that is just singing, on the weekends down at the church clubhouse, right? Kandi is in a bona fide group, a pioneer group from the 90s, right? One of which Kandi is like low key the lead singer in. She has tour dates. So I hated the fact that they were like, yes, Kandi has missed some things. She's missed some events. Kenya, she missed your event because she was getting an award. We're not going to pass up my award ceremony to go to Birmingham on that busted trip. The roller skate ring, who knows why she didn't come to that. Kandi's doing the best she can. Y'all done guilted this lady into flying 8 hours for 2 days. One of which she was sick. So Kandi said that she still feels like she is in a rebuilding phase in her life because when opportunities come up, she feels like she has to take every single one. So Kandi is like, it's easier to have something and, be fearful of losing it. And I think once Escape went down and Kandi went back to just kind of, putting her head down and trying to sell songs, she doesn't want to get back to that point where she's so reliant on just one thing. That's what I think, at least. But she says she's going to try to do a better job. And I get what they're saying, because if you're going to be on RHOA, you got to show up. You have to come to events. You have to do a lot of the stuff that people are asking you to do. But at the same time, in the same token, let's not act like Kandi is just out kicking it and you're just seeing her on Instagram chilling with Tiny and Toya. Like, she's actually out working. So Kandi feels like she is just getting pulled from she's getting pulled every which way, and she's trying her best to be there for everybody. But I mean, if her own family, them kids and them kids and Todd are saying that, they want more time with her, Sheree and Kenya, y'all are probably, well, I won't say. Kenya seems like they are real friends, despite what Carlos King thinks. I think Kandi and Kenya are real friends, but Sheree says bye. So the next day, everybody's getting up, getting ready to go. We get a montage of Kenya taking her time, getting ready. She's sipping coffee. She's out trying to feel the rain, doing a bunch of random stuff, which leads us to believe she's late. Sonya doesn't know what to wear. Apparently, Marlo has been helping her with outfits. Marlo told her, girl, you need to wear that skirt. Don't wear jeans. Be out here looking like Billie Jean. They panned Drew, who had a denim on denim moment. And they all go outside and they're like, we got to get going. They're all on the sprinter. Kenya comes out in house shoes on this wet pavement and falls on her ass. I am a person that I laugh when people fall. I'm going to check on you. But when Kenya fell, I hollered. But she didn't get up. And I was like, oh, damn, she's hurt. It took security, production, the driver, everybody around so long to go over there and help her. I would think, by this being your talent, that when somebody like that falls, if they don't immediately get back up, you go help them. Kenya was rolling on the ground like a seal, wincing in pain. So they finally get her up. She starts crying. I said, oh, she hurt her. So she's going to the hospital, and she asked Kandi to come with her. Kandi was looking like, why I gotta go? But Kandi said on her speak on it that in that moment, she was like just processing, okay, we're going to this hospital, who's going to come with us, production, all these different things that were going through Kandi's mind. But she said at no point did she ever think she wasn't going to like go with Kenya to support her. So Drew is talking to Courtney. Courtney said that the universe has a strange way of dealing with people, and she believes that Kenya's fall was karma. Courtney, what is your karma? When is your karma gonna come around? Is Kenya a mean girl? Sure. That's subjective. That's debatable based on who you want to ask, right? Sure. But to say that somebody falling and potentially seriously hurting themselves is karma because she asked you not to touch her while you were laughing and being condescending, don't bring Courtney back. Ain't Courtney Sheree friend? Why we don't ever see her with Sheree? Courtney came on as Sheree's friend. We never see her interacting with Sheree. Okay. So Kandi goes to the hospital with Kenya. The rest of the ladies go to this marketplace where they're going to pick out all their what they want to eat for dinner, and then the chef is going to cook it. Very nice experience. So they see this rabbit. They were acting like the rabbit had this like huge butt. I didn't think the rabbit, ain't that how rabbit butts look? I didn't think the rabbit was like stacked like they were saying. But Marlo was like, Kenya needs to go get her BBL where this rabbit got. Same place the rabbit went. So they caught Kandi. They're sitting in the hospital, like in a waiting room where Kenya's like lying on this hospital bed. Kandi is sitting right next to her. And Marlo was like, well, this is where, being worldwide should come in handy. You should be out here and be able to talk to somebody and skip ahead the line. I would never be standing there like that. And I forgot who it was. Was it Sheree or Magnetta? And I'm glad they said it. This is where somebody should have said these are VIPs to expedite it. It's not up to Kandi to go and be like, I'm Kandi Burris from Escape. I wrote TLC No Scrubs. I wrote Bills. I wrote Bugaboo for Destiny Child. That's not her place to do that. Production was there. Security was there. Somebody should have said, these are VIPs and did it that way. Production really should have made that happen. Nonetheless, Kandi said on her speak on it that it was more of a chaotic situation than we saw, but everything went the way that everything was supposed to go. Kenya got her meds, all that type of stuff. We see Kandi help her back to her room. Kenya didn't break anything. It was probably just like pain from just falling like that. We're old. Kenya's too old to be falling. I feel like I'm 38. I'm too old to be falling. I fell. I tripped. I tripped over my bed. I fell so hard my glasses flew off. I promise I laid there for a couple of minutes like, God damn. We too old to be falling. So while they're at lunch, Marlo is showing pictures of her and Scottley from their first date. It was a very weird picture because they're not like looking at the camera. It's almost like somebody just took a candid, but they took a picture and they're still going strong. I guess they were together just recently. And Sheree tells her that Kenya called it a fake Tinder date, being messy for no reason. Magnetta said that she feels that it's too early to put the relationship in front of everybody. So Magnetta then says that she didn't like the way that Marlo tried to take the shine away from Kenya by saying that she knew Roy. Sheree doesn't understand why Kenya mentioning Martell's DM is different than Marlo mentioning her DM with Roy. You're choosing not to understand. There's a difference. There is a difference. There's a difference. But whatever. While this is happening, Martell conveniently calls, and his dumb ass is like, you there for a lot of days, right? A lot of days? I said, a lot of days? What are you for? You're there for a lot of days? What's going on with the Alabama school system? Wasn't Martell a teacher? So then he starts talking about how we don't go this long without sex, and when you in bed tonight, make sure you think about me. It's very forced. It's very fake. Sheree, you did a terrible job with this storyline with Martell, but go off, sis. They then tell Drew that Kandi says and seen when she left the table. So now Drew feels away. Marlo fake apologizes once again, and Drew said that she needs more consistency before she truly accepts it. Marlo is apologizing for saying, fuck you to Drew after Candace let Drew do wop pop pop with her on stage at the city winery. Marlo is not being received because it's fake. Because we saw you like low key apologize to Drew during that scene, then you hung up on her, and then you started talking shit about her being built like a square and all this other type of stuff. Why is Marlo here? Y'all can say that Marlo is carrying the show, but is she? Is Marlo carrying this season? Like, y'all really think Marlo's carrying this season? To each his own. So they're at this like pottery place and they're all painting like stars and hearts and stuff like that. Did y'all notice that Sheree had to pull up her own logo to paint it? You can't freehand your little star? You don't know your star from memory? I guess. Marlo said that when Kenya and Kandi aren't around, they all get along just fine. Well, that is Marlo because you're not messing with them. See, everybody else that was there, you're not going to try to go toe to toe with because Sheree is your friend. You don't have a problem with Courtney. Sanya is up your ass 24/7, so you don't have a problem with her. You know that Drew is not going to really get buck with you. And Mayetta doesn't come for anybody unless they send for her. You are constantly antagonizing Kenya and Kandi. This entire season, you have been antagonizing them. Because we can say the same without you, Marlo. When you're not around and Kenya and Kandi are there, things go very smoothly as well. So Mayetta and Tanya have like this little fake fight, and then they yell and scene at the end. And Drew is now offended because, wow, everybody thinks my pain. It's like, Drew, go home, go to bed, go take a nap. But you cannot be this offended over every single thing. Yes, you felt the way that Kandi said and seen. Address it with Kandi later and move on from it. But Drew is dragging it at this point. So later that night, they have a pajama party in Sheree's room. And I'd be damned if Drew brings up Kandi saying and seen. And it was funny because Drew was trying to bring it up. Kandi was like, yeah, I said and seen. Kandi said, look, my first instinct was to make a joke. I didn't think it was that serious. I thought that you were acting. I've seen you be in bigger arguments than this. So then Kandi was like, I think everybody is a little too uptight in general lately. Everybody. Kandi, you got to include yourself in that now, sis. You got to include yourself in that, Kandi, because you were very uptight when it came to the whole Blaze situation and when it came to Marlo's nephew. But, que sera, sera. So, Kandi apologized, and it's like, you just got to learn to pick your battles, and this is a battle I just didn't want to keep going on and on about. So, Sanya talks about why her sister wasn't at the brunch, because they noticed that her sister didn't stay. And she was saying how she's just frustrated with, her sister was frustrated with her because Sanya's a terrible communicator. And instead of Sanya being honest and saying, I dropped the ball that day, I didn't give her time, I forgot to do all this other stuff, so that's why she didn't stay, stuff wasn't, she wasn't prepared. Sanya switches it and decides to say that she's struggling with the change in family dynamic. She wants things to stay the way that they were, and she now realizes that they're just not going to. Things are not going to stay the way that you wanted them to. Things have to change. And she thinks that their family dynamic is not going to change, but it's best if they just don't live together anymore. They got to rip the Band-Aid off. So Sheree then talks about how she hasn't seen anybody's name on the orders from She by Sheree. The audacity of you to say that when y'all was just arguing about you taking shit back from them. But whatever. So Sanya's like, we all went to the website and I don't know how to order. It just shows quantities, but it doesn't show how to order. Mayetta shows her how to order. But then Sheree is like, y'all know how to use a website. Y'all know how to order from a website. But then everybody is like, I haven't seen you order anything. Marlo was like, you haven't been to Lake Archive. I feel like you can't expect people to support you if you're not supporting them, right? So Sonya says in her confessional, we had a group chat where we were all excited to buy stuff and nothing was on the website because the website crashed. Kandi said, I'm not going to keep going back and checking and checking and checking. Let me know when the stuff is available to order and I'll buy some. So in that moment, they all pull out their phones and it looked like the only person that really bought something was Sonya. So after the cameras go down, we see it says production wrapped. So they're having like a little dance party. And they then start talking about the Bolo situation, which was Cynthia's engagement party a couple seasons back. They bring up Drew making out with LaToya. Drew is denying this, saying that Kandi is lying. But it's crazy because what people say is Kandi doesn't lie. Kandi said, I don't make up shit. I don't lie. That's not what I do, not part of my ministry. If I said something happened, it happened. You can't make me unsee what I saw. So Marlo said in her confessional that she is 80% sure that Drew did kiss LaToya. And they're like 80? Marlo was like, because now she's making me question myself. So on Kandi Speak On It, she talks about how they even had LaToya on her Speak On It, and they talked about everything that happened. Drew didn't know that the cameras were still rolling. And by cameras, I mean that security footage that kind of caught them through the window. But we heard everybody still be mic'd up. We heard it. So we then see that Drew is saying in her confessional that she has never kissed a woman. We fast forward 3 months. And I remember, because I follow Mimi on Instagram still, and I remember Mimi saying that Drew was messing with Ty. Y'all know that Ty is Mimi's ex-girlfriend. Are they back together? I feel like they're on and off again girlfriends all the time. So we're going to see this like divorce play out. Now, is Ty in the movie? Is that how she got hooked up with her? We're going to get to the bottom of it. Drew was crying when production asked her, so like, did you kiss her? Have you been messing around with her? We'll find that all out later this episode, I guess. But let me know what you guys thought about this episode. Hop in the comments if you have not already. Thumbs up the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you guys in the next one.